Design anthropology focuses on how design translates values into tangible experiences, and the investigatory techniques used to understand this process of translation are informed by the theoretical frameworks of anthropology. In her essay, Decolonize Design and Anthropology, The Utility of Design Anthropology, Elizabeth Tunstall outlines one of the key principles of the methodology of design anthropology as the responsibility of the designer to structure the design process in order to both respectively incorporate end users, make use of their expertise, and recognize the significance of their contributions. In practice, this principle advocates a process that begins with ethnographic research in order to discover the relevant collective or individual values, and goes on to explore and test these assumed values as an integral part of the design development. Using a residential project for a retired couple as an example, this essay will consider the potential of a number of different anthropological theories to inform the practice of architectural design. The anthropological theories that are relevant to architectural design can be considered as part of three categories: interaction, interpretation, and behavioral patterns. These theoretical categories could be informed through information gathering techniques used during preliminary research and through evaluation methods during the design development. Theoretical positions that inform how architecture is going to be interacted with, such as physical anthropology and ergonomics, could be informed through both preliminary research and ongoing prototype and scenario testing during the design development. Assumptions of post-structuralism could inform methods of how to investigate behavioral patterns during the initial information gathering period. The third category, interaction, includes semiotics and theories of cultural meaning, and can structure both preliminary research gathering methods and ongoing presentation and testing strategies. Design memetics could be seen as part of two categories: behavioral patterns, through informing perception of lifestyles and correlating spatial configuration, and interpretation, through a knowledge of what is fashionable. Interaction. Ergonomics. One theory of ergonomics is Kranz's assertion that the semantic behaviors of individuals are developed as they grow up. This means that the reception of comfort is different for everybody. This could inform preliminary research to investigate relevant semantic interactions in the couple's current home, such as bench height, distance from the television, and lighting levels. If the couple desires semantic interactions to change, simple prototypes such as scale drawings of a door to indicate door handle height could be used as the design is being developed. Physical anthropology. Biological difference is an assumption of multilinear evolution advocated by anthropologists such as Julian Stewart. This theory could inform the process of design through supporting the investigation of environmental comfort levels. The designer could also consider instinctual, emotional, or psychological needs such as prospect refuge or views over natural environments. Like the process of ergonomics, processes for designing for biological difference can involve research into comfortable conditions in the couple's current home and testing of new possibilities and changes using simulations during the design development. Interpretation. Cultural meaning. McCracken's theory of possession could be a useful concept of cultural meaning to architectural design. He outlines that the meaning of the design should represent the values of the owner. This could lead to focusing some of the preliminary research on what the values of the couple are. Design memetics. McCracken also advocates tracking cultural trends in order to understand cultural change as a trajectory and not a completely unpredictable force. An awareness of the cultural trajectory of relevant aspects would allow the architect to understand whether or not a memetic development is based purely on fashion and hence could go out of date during the lifetime of the house, or based on a more permanent and important technological or behavioral development. Semiotics. Semiotics assumes that all incoming sensory perception to the brain is interpreted based on past experience and cultural and instinctive cues. It would be very difficult to design every aspect of the house according to the semiotic interpretations of the couple. However, this framework could be useful for designing and detailing important parts of the house. In order to understand the way in which the couple would interpret architectural elements, techniques such as card sorting could be used in the initial research phase in order to gauge how the couple will interpret certain materials and forms. As each iteration of the house is presented to the couple during development, realistic presentation techniques could be used in order to get useful feedback and ensure that the couple is interpreting elements in the intended way. Behavioral patterns. Evolution of design. Replicative success, as outlined by Leonard, is a framework to study the evolutionary nature of designs. An understanding of the evolutionary nature of designs would also provide a deeper understanding of the nature of the relationship between behavioral patterns and spatial configurations, and how both have developed over time. An investigation into the behavioral patterns of the couple could allow the designer to suggest different spatial configurations to improve the experiential quality of their lives in the house. Post-structuralism. An example of a useful theoretical framework within post-structuralism is Bourdieu's theory of practice. This allows for the existence of structures which outline behavior, however it also asserts that these structures cannot always predict the behavior. Post-structuralism also advocates the potential for structures to evolve over time, and that there is an overlay of a number of structures that could be influencing the behavior of any individual. When considering the example project, a post-structuralist perspective would suggest that investigating the couple's activities patterns through techniques such as self-documentation kits would be useful. It would suggest that these patterns are relatively flexible, and hence the spatial configuration of the house should allow for some flexibility of behavior outside what the perceived structures would suggest. Another consideration would be the potential for these structures to change over time due to the deteriorating physical conditions of the couple, lifestyle changes due to retirement, changing family dynamics, and how these developments should be allowed for in the design of the house. Sustainability. Other theoretical frameworks that would be useful to architectural practice in general concern sustainability. Diffusionism. The anthropologist Julian Stewart developed a theory outlining the diffusion of materials and behaviors across cultural areas and proposed similar environmental conditions as a factor in successful diffusion. This position would suggest that it would be useful to consider design solutions from other cultural areas in zones with comparable climatic conditions. Behavioral systems. Hodder describes the archaeological framework of behavioral systems in archaeological theory today. An understanding of the archaeological framework of behavioral systems could influence the development of sustainable processes at all stages of a building